I could tell how quickly it came in that it was going to be for someone else. I didn't know who, but there were some healer friends that I was working with, and they were helping me get my energy body up to speed to keep accommodating all the energy that was coming through. And his first wife was a healer who had passed away some years back. Well, after this came through, I heard, I hadn't seen this couple in a little while. I got to call them and to ask if they wanted to barter for an elemental, a session for me, for an elemental, and I'd never even considered that with them. But I did. I called that day and they said, sure, we'd love to have an elemental. So I brought about 5 elementals over, and this one. And when they saw this one, they both just said, this is ours. And it turns out that the day that this was made was his first wife's, who was the healer, it was her birthday. And they both feel her energy in this very strongly. And I've seen this happen a number of times. Somehow, beloveds that are not in their bodies anymore can communicate, with us. What I think is really happening is somehow they know, this energy knows exactly how to meet each person energetically, and it's whatever they need for their next piece. It can help facilitate that. It's an amazing sort of intelligence that just knows. It's sort of nothing I'm doing. I'm just like following the direction. But and in this case, making a connection with the ex-wife that was a friend to his current wife. They worked as healers together. Was really important to them, and I've seen that a number of times with sort of these. Somehow you can make that connection with the other side. Next one. So, I won't talk about all of them. There's sort of stories about all of them. This one does have a divine mother energy. This is another one that I work with and work with clients. It sort of channels in very deep peace. It's very quiet, very expansive, just kind of like a big blanket around. It's very peaceful. Healing. Next one. Another one in that same color. And I started working smaller now. That didn't happen until recently. Okay. This was one, it's a custom piece for a friend, and it was a necklace that belonged to her deceased, recently deceased mother. And she came back from the funeral and gave me this necklace. So I knew I was to make an elemental for her, and I love working with other people's beads because it brings in like other colors and combinations that don't seem to be coming through me directly. But I didn't have a photograph of this one. I'd given it to her without getting a photo, and I recently borrowed it back. I get visitation rights on some of my elementals. So I came back and I took this photo, and then it was hanging in my apartment for a couple of days. And I started just like getting a very strong impression of like, it felt like her mother and things. And I checked it out with her, and she said, yes, that's my mother. It was so sweet. It's like mannerisms and things that her mother did. So anyway, it's back with her now, but it's just been this really sweet exchange. This is it's a tiny one that now belongs to a friend who's working on bringing her beauty out into the world. Next one. It's a real grounded earth energy. So it's like there's just infinite possibilities that they're just coming through. And that's one thing that they're showing. It's like they're infinite. It's eternal. There's no limitations. They just keep coming in. There's a whole series. No two are alike, but there's a series of these gold and pink ones, and quite a few started coming in like that, and I asked about it, and that's really the gold is our inner gifts and our inner qualities, and they're just encouraging us to keep bringing, each individual one to keep bringing out our gifts into the world and to share them, and so these can help. If they just kind of hang out with you, they can help that happen. It's kind of another of the angelic quality ones. And that's a little one. There's a whole series too there about the fairy realm, and this is like a little doorway into the fairy realm. And, next one. This has to do, it's a kind of an interesting color combination, but I've been with it a lot. And like, who are you? Because it took a while for me to like hear. It's been a huge part of the thing for me, is like listening to, really discerning. It's like, I don't want to be making stuff up. I want to really hear what they're trying to say. And so this one, appropriately, was about intuition. Yeah.
Satya, we're running a little late for our break. So.
Okay, I will wrap up. This is just the last couple. I've started just putting them together. So this is 4 together. It feels like there's a whole nother like communication thing that can happen when you start to put them together. And that's another 4 together. And there's one more. And that's more than 4 together. So I'm just pretty curious about exploring this. This is the one that came, it's the last slide. It's the one that came, usually when I talk, one comes through for the event. And this tiny little one came through. Often they're sort of bigger and sparkly. But this little one came through. He's just a little guy. And it's really like a little hodgepodge of beads. It was actually like a little leftover beads. And I said, what do you want to say? And he said it just back to the heart again, back to that innocent heart, what we all have. It's so powerful. It can feel so vulnerable to share our innocent heart, but it's so powerful. And there's so much, love and oneness that's just right here for all of us. And just really, that's what they're here to share. And it also shared that this goes to Ryan. It's his new buddy. So, thank you so much.
So we'll have about a 30-minute break, and then we'll finish the presentation.